Imagine a person in the Oval Office who traffics in conspiracy theories.
Hillary Clinton and the birth of birtherism. I'm Brian Lilly with the Rebel.media. Hillary Clinton wants us to imagine what it's like to have someone in the White House that, well, believes in conspiracy theories or traffics in them. She must be able to imagine that better than most, given the fingerprints of her campaign are all over birtherism going back to 2008. And this was raised again after she attacked Donald Trump when he said, no, President Obama was born in America. She turned around and blasted him for ever trafficking in this. And yet we know from the historic record that it was Clinton, her campaign, her surrogates, that were originally pushing this issue back in 2008 when she was still battling Barack Obama to become the Democratic presidential nominee. She fired an Iowa campaign worker who was spreading the idea that not only was Obama a Muslim, but also born in Kenya, only after the media found out. The Obama campaign had been complaining about these emails circulating, but when the media reported on it, then the worker was fired. This issue has also been reported on by other media outlets for a long time now, and that resurfaced again when James Asher, who used to be a bureau chief at McClatchy in Washington, tweeted this out. Check it out. This is just from the other day. Asher says, CNN says Hillary team in 2008 never raised birther issue. Sid Blumenthal, longtime HRC buddy, told me in person, Obama born in Kenya. You can see in the McClatchy article as well, it goes over the campaign worker issue and what Blumenthal told Asher. Asher describing in detail how he was then in charge of the Africa desk for McClatchy, and dropped by to talk to him and say, you've got to investigate this area in Kenya where Obama was born. Blumenthal now denies it, but when it comes to this, I'm going to believe the reporter over Blumenthal, whose sticky fingers have been on all over all kinds of crises and scandals related to both Bill and Hillary Clinton for years now. The other claim that Hillary Clinton made is that, well, Trump was attacking Obama because he's not like him.
Imagine a president who sees someone who doesn't look like him and doesn't agree with him and thinks that person must not be a real American.
Well, let's go back to 2008 again, and we'll turn to left-wing media outlets like The Guardian and Politico, who were reporting on the time about the Clinton campaign pushing this photo. It's a photo of Barack Obama being dressed up in traditional African dress in the area that he was visiting near Kenya. They were pushing this with two reasons. One, again, to push the idea that he was from Kenya, not really American. And then secondly, to push the idea that he was a Muslim. They wanted the idea that Obama was foreign somehow. This had long been part of their strategy. In fact, it was detailed in a 2007 memo. Pushed the fact that Hillary Clinton was a true American, whereas Barack Obama, not quite American enough to be president. The Atlantic published this full memo years ago. It's been out there. Everybody knows about it, but nobody wants to talk about it. Well, let me quote to you directly from the Penn memo. It says, it also exposes a very strong weakness for him. His roots to basic American values and culture are at best limited. I cannot imagine America electing a president during a time of war who is not at his center fundamentally American in his thinking in values. He told the people of New Hampshire yesterday he has a Kansas accent because his mother was from there. His mother lived in many states, and as far as we can tell, but this is an example of the nonsense he uses to cover this up. Memo goes on to say, every speech should contain the line, you were born in the middle of America to the middle class in the middle of the last century. They wanted to promote the idea that Obama was different, not quite American, but that Hillary Clinton was. So when she turns around and blasts Donald Trump for pushing the birther issue for his own political gain, well, as they say, when you point, you've got 3 fingers, 4 fingers pointing back at you. Hillary Clinton's fingers were all over this long before Donald Trump ever thought of entering the presidential race in any serious way. This is ridiculous, and it's scandalous that Clinton is getting away with it and that other media outlets are covering for her. The simple fact of the matter is, if they didn't start it, they certainly gave it enough life that it took off in 2008 and still hasn't gone away to this day. Hillary Clinton should be ashamed of herself, but being ashamed requires having a conscience, and that's something I don't think she has.
Thanks for watching. Click here to never miss a Rebel update. Want even more of the Rebel? Well, click here to become a premium member.